Hello and welcome to Uniquely Beautiful Stories. This is a place where we introduce you to women who are making a difference in their everyday lives by using their unique gifts and their lives that God has given to them to reach out to others in this world. And I am so excited today to introduce you to my beautiful friend, Melissa Inge, who has a passion for advocating for women and men who live in vulnerable places. And we're going to hear all about how she does that and how you can even join her in that mission. But first, I'd love to just introduce you to Melissa. Hi, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. I'm so glad you're here. I want you just to tell our viewers a little bit about yourself, kind of a snapshot of your day, your life. Who do you live it with? What do you do?
Okay. Well, my husband and I, Rudy, we live in Yukon. We have been married for 16 years now. We have two darling daughters, Lexi, who is 14, London, who is 11. So we have entered into high school and junior high, which is completely crazy. And so my current title is Uber driver and waiter, except that I don't get paid for it. So I'm constantly driving them somewhere and constantly waiting, but I'm just enjoying it right now because I know it will go by so fast.
Oh, I'm with you 100% right there on the Uber driving and the cooking and the waiting and the cleaning up and the no paycheck.
Yes.
I'm with
Yes.
you. Well, you talking about your girls being 14 and 11, it makes me think way back to when we met. We met a long time ago.
Years ago.
Here at our church, Council Road.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to remember, did you have Lexi yet, or where were you guys in your life stage when we met?
We had just had Lexi, and so we have been coming here for 13 years now. A friend of mine, Kendra Crabtree, brought me dinner and invited us to church, and we came, and we've been coming here ever since.
I love it. That is so cool. Well, I was driving here today and I was thinking, okay, what's my earliest memory of Melissa? And I remember you being in our Sunday school class, Young Married Life.
Yes.
And then I remember doing some Bible studies and book studies where we would just read a chapter or maybe not even read the chapter and just get together with our girlfriends. We all had littles,
Yes.
toddlers and new babies. And I remember meeting at that Starbucks that's in the Target.
Yes.
And it was such a special thing because we could come an hour early and just veg, shop, walk around aimlessly in Target, and then come enjoy coffee with our friends.
It was perfect because none of us had to clean our houses. The dads put the kids to bed, and we actually got to enjoy some time. And who doesn't love Target? And Bible studies, just the icing on the cake. So
Exactly.
It was great.
I love it. I love it. So over the past 13 years, what are some of the fun things that you and Rudy have connected with and plugged into here at Council Road?
Well, we started out going to Sunday school class, and you're in Garrick's Sunday school class, and then we went on and we taught second grade for many, many, many years, and so now we are just kind of going back into a Sunday school class, and we've been visiting different ones, but I think we found our fit.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
I love it. I love it. And I know Rudy kind of unveiled a hidden talent for woodworking a couple of years ago.
He did.
So we have an annual fundraiser called The Gift Goes On where we give a donation to a local adoption agency or adoption charity here in Oklahoma City, and we have different vendors and people who donate goods. And so Rudy has donated these incredible pieces of art, woodwork. I mean, did he just decide one day to give that a try?
Yes, it's just always something that he has loved doing, and I'm the one always showing pictures and say, can you do this? And then he always does it for me, and I have lots of pieces in my house, and I love just the homemadeness of them, and so he needs more time in the day to do it all, but one day he would love to have a big shop and just be able to do all kinds of woodworking in there, so that may be in retirement plan.
That is awesome. I love it. I love the way you guys have just plugged right into our church and you're using your natural gifts. And honestly, that's the purpose of this whole podcast and vlog is to help women discover their unique gifts, to show each of us that God has made us special and all the things that make us who we are things that he wants to use for his glory. And I totally see that in Rudy, and I totally see that in you. And that's why I wanted you to be here today. So as long as I've known Melissa, she has been, I would just say, a fashionista. I mean, she's stylish, she's beautiful, she puts together color and patterns, her home is decorated, cute, and I just would always, I mean, I knew you when you were pregnant, and you were like the most stylish expectant mother ever.
I don't know about that.
Seriously, just from all the stages. That's one thing I'd say about you. And I just want to know, like, is that something that has always kind of been a part of your life, or something you've been interested in, even back to like childhood, teen years?
Yeah, it really has been. I mean, I love to dress up. I mean, I'm girly girl. Even on my sickest day, I will probably have a pair of earrings in. But I just have always, my mother loves shoes. And so she has always had just some great, unique shoes. And I think just watching her over the years. And so, yeah, I mean, as far as dressing and decorating my house, I love it all. I love doing it all. So
that's so cool. And I can vouch for how you dress on your sickest days, because I have to say, in like the past decade, I've run into you at the grocery store or like Target before, and I've been like typical stay-at-home mom, like sweats, no makeup, ball cap. Melissa will somehow be in like a comfy outfit, but she will look adorable, and like she could be going places. And so, it's just so neat to see that that's just who you are. It's how God made you. But what I think is even more cool is that you have been able to partner that part of yourself, that creative part, the part that loves color and fashion, and you've been able to do some real good with it. I would love for our viewers today to just kind of hear the story. How did that happen? How did God show you all that?
Right. Well, it all kind of started, I went on a mission trip in 2013 to Ethiopia. With, at the time, Lexi was 10, and we went to we went with visiting orphans, and we were doing a vacation Bible school with kids. And during that visit, I saw women making jewelry, and at the time didn't really connect the dots until I got home. Of course, when I got home, my life was wrecked because I fell in love with these people there, and I was just wrestling with, God, how can you use me? How can you use my gifts and talents to help these people that I dearly love? And couple of weeks after I got home, I got invited to this jewelry show at Kendra's house, and it was noonday collection, and I heard the stories, and basically what they were doing is they were providing jobs for men and women in vulnerable areas. So, and Ethiopia, with that being, on my heart, the way that they make their jewelry is just really unique. So they had a civil war, which was horrific. And so farmers now go out and collect all the bullets, and then they take the bullets and they melt it down and then make beads out of it. And so it's just, they turned something that was so tragic into something so beautiful. And so every time I wear a piece from Ethiopia, I wear that story, and I get to share that story. So at the time, it was just my natural instinct at this party to start playing with all the jewelry, accessorizing everybody there. And the ambassador there said, you should really do this. No, this is not. Well, fast forward 2 months later, and I decided to become an ambassador for Noonday, and I get to go into people's homes and share the stories of these artisans, and just getting to share what this piece of jewelry does for this artisan. And it just it brings them hope. They have a dignified job. They're making money for their family, and in third world countries, it's not free to go to public school. So they have the same hopes and dreams as we do for our kids, and so they want to be able to provide their kids to be able to go to school, their medical needs, and all these things. And so I was looking back and thinking about when I saw those women making the jewelry in Ethiopia. That's what they were able to do. And so we are so much alike anywhere in the world, is that we want to provide for our families. And Noonday just does an exceptional job of just providing these jobs. And then what is so great for me is when I have a piece on, I get to share the story of hope and redemption for that artisan. And so that has been super fun. And then, of course, our friends, the Crabtrees, have started their own little company in Ethiopia, Harvest Ethiopia. And so, and they are working with leather and teaching the women there how to make leather goods. And so it's the same type of opportunity for these men and women. Like in Ethiopia, they have an 85% unemployment rate. Wow. So, for these people to have jobs, it means everything to them. So I just love being a part of that.
That's amazing. I feel like just in the past few years, as Americans, have we become aware of what the power our dollar can have, and being really mindful about where we spend our dollar and what's happening on the other side of that. I'm like you, I've been to a couple of noonday parties. I'm actually wearing one of my noonday pieces that has the bullets. So this is one of the pieces of jewelry made from the bullets. And I love just being able to know that when I order or buy this necklace, like you said, I'm empowering somebody across the world to provide for their family.
Yes.
And I think it makes us think about how we're spending our money here. I think it helps us to feel grateful for what God has given us, but then there's a responsibility.
Exactly.
With that.
Well, and it's such a big, it's a big trend right now to be looking into where our dollars are going, and we can use our purchasing power for good. And my girlfriends and I, we did a year of where we would only purchase gifts that gave back, and you would be surprised. There's so many companies that are out there. You just have to research and find it.
I love that.
Yeah.
What a cool idea.
Yeah, it was super fun.
That's a really neat idea. Well, I just love what you're doing. And you mentioned Kendra and Tom, and those are some friends of ours that actually live in Ethiopia right now. And I mean, they're doing the same thing. They're taking their gifts. Kendra has been a shop owner before, and Tom has his own business. And so I think that your story and theirs is exactly what I want to highlight on these uniquely beautiful stories, is that ministry and mission and helping others it shouldn't just look one way. It should look the way that God made you, and search your heart and your story for what are those gifts that you have.
Right.
And if you kind of hold them out and tell God you're willing, He'll use all those things. And so He'll use a shop owner that can move across the world to help women have their own business in making leather goods. And then He'll use a girl that loves fashion and design to be able to go out and share all these stories. And I have no doubt that God's going to continue to use you to help women, to share these stories, and just to use the place He has you for great good. I'm just excited to continue watching your story.
Well, I do love it all, and I'm having fun with it, and I'm finally recognizing my gifts. For a long time, you think, oh, fashion, design, what can that? But God did, He revealed that to me, that there's lots of different ways that you can use that. And so just being a cheerleader for these people in other countries, that's my passion, is to let people know about companies like this, that they can use their purchasing power for good.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for all this information. I do have one more question, but before we close, can you tell us where we can find both Noonday and Harvest Ethiopia? Because I know that our viewers are going to want to look at this incredible jewelry and leather goods.
Yes. You can go to www.harvestethiopia.com, and you can also go to www.noondaycollection.com.
Awesome. And I will say, I'll give a plug for the event I talked about earlier, The Gift Goes On. Melissa is going to have a Noonday booth there, and then we're also going to have a Harvest Ethiopia booth. So please mark your calendars for Tuesday, November the 14th from 6 to 9 p.m. at the Cube in Bethany, Oklahoma. We'll have these great vendors and about 30 more. So that's going to be a great night of shopping for a good cause. You won't want to miss that. But one last thing, Melissa, while I have you here, I can't let you go without asking you, what are the fall trends that you see coming that you're loving?
Well, I would have to say I'm loving the color blush, and I got the Harvest Ethiopia bag, the blush color in the everyday tote. And, my kids are always asking me to carry 1 billion things.
Yes.
So it is a nice bag with the nice long handles, and then I have put on here a Noonday pom-pom, and so that's kind of fun. But I would have to say also velvet is going to be big this year. Don't be, just mix patterns. Okay. Just, you can mix stripes and plaids and just have fun with it. And I would also have to say camo is making a comeback.
Okay.
Which I wish I would have kept. I've decided that trends come back around, and so we should just keep everything that we have.
That's true.
But we probably don't have the room for all of that.
Exactly.
So, but those would be my style tips. And don't get out of your comfort zone. Try something different sometimes. You never know. You might like it.
Okay. I love that. I feel like I need you to just come style me on a regular basis, because there's probably stuff in my closet that I actually even have that I I'm afraid to wear, or I'm not mixing that up right.
Right.
So
Sometimes it just takes a different eye.
exactly. Well, I appreciate you for a lot of reasons, and I love what God's doing in your life, and thank you so much for taking time to share with us today.
Well, you're welcome, and thank you for having me.
You're welcome, and thank you for joining us, and I hope that you will go out today and live your one beautiful life uniquely as God created you.